And venting is what a lot of us do. It's when you just cry out to God, you're frustrated, you don't know why your situation is the way it is, and you get no result. But what God told me is God is the answer to every question we have. And it was when I got quiet and I was still and I turned off all my distractions, including my phone, my husband, and everything else, and I was able to just be in tune with God, that he started speaking. And he started speaking very clear. And he started saying, Destiny, it just wasn't your timing. Destiny, you're actually broken and dealing with abandonment. And that's why I haven't given you a child, because you haven't allowed me to heal the wounds inside of you. And when he started to do that, when I started allowing him to do that, then came KJ. So this is the template he gave me. And I share this with everyone in the world. And it has really, really helped them be set free. So I want to share it with my friends and family. So here we go. Number one is creating the atmosphere. Creating the atmosphere is so important because a lot of people ask, is this me that I'm hearing? Is this the devil that I'm hearing? How do I know it's God? And the first way to know that it's not the enemy is to play praise and worship music. The enemy was kicked out of heaven as the angel of music. So he hates gospel music. He hates anything that glorifies God. So that's the quickest way to get him out of this scenario. Just praise and worship music. Now I do recommend, if you're a beginner, to start with instrumental, because if it has words, sometimes it can distract you. But that's number one. Has anybody ever tried to pray and got distracted? Raise your hand. Right. It's really easy, because the enemy knows if he can keep you away from prayer, he can keep you away from God. So number two is ask God for peace. So the biggest problem I found with people is no one even asks God to speak to them. And in Matthew 7:7, it clearly says, ask and it will be given to you. So just ask him. So step two is saying, Lord, here I am, give me peace, remove the spirit of distraction, and allow me to hear what it is you're trying to say to me in this moment. And you'll get your answer. Has anybody ever tried to pray and ask God to speak to them? Has anybody tried to pray and didn't ask God to speak to them? Right. And what I have found is a lot of people get frustrated with prayer, which turns into getting frustrated with God, which gets turned into, I don't want nothing to do with the church, I don't want nothing to do with God, I don't want nothing to do with this, because here I am begging and pleading and I'm not getting any result. Right? They're fine. They're kids. They're okay. All right, the next one is start with gratitude. And if you guys have any questions while I'm going, you can definitely ask. Start with gratitude. So a lot of us go to God begging and pleading. We go out with our hand out and not our hearts. Have you thanked God for even waking you up this morning? Have you thanked God for waking your children up this morning? Have you thanked God for having you still have that job that you hate so much, still paying your bills, right? So have you really thanked God for what he's already done? Because if you're honest with yourself, he really doesn't have to do anything else for you. He's done enough by giving his only begotten son for your life and for your sins. So, during this portion, I'll just read it, but it says, an example of that is, thank you, God, for waking me up this morning. Thank you for providing a home for my family, a job to provide for my family. Because how would you feel if people only came to you when they wanted something? We all know that one person, right? You see them call. Sometimes it's me to my brother, I'm going to be honest, right? Right, Devon? When you see their name pull up on the phone, you're like, I don't know if I'm going to talk to her today because I know she got something she needs, right? You wouldn't answer the phone, and that's how we all, at some point in our lives, have treated God. What more can you do for me today? And then this next part is my favorite, but it's the most difficult for most of my clients. And it's called prayer time, which I like to call the venting time, because that was my favorite part, right? But this portion is where you get vulnerable with God. And for me, I started hearing from God the clearest when I got the most honest with myself. A lot of us are very, very good at pointing out what's wrong with you, what's wrong with you, what's wrong with you, but you can't tell yourself what's wrong with yourself. And it's not until I had to stop saying, Lord, change my husband, make him stop talking back, Jesus. And every time I would pray say these things, the Lord kept saying, but what about you, Destiny? And I was like, God, you my father. Don't take his side. You my father. And he said, no, but what about you? You're selfish. You're prideful. You don't know how to humble yourself. Right, babe? You think you know everything? Right? So it wasn't until I got honest with myself and said, God, why am I so prideful? Why can't I accept help? Or why when I accept help, I feel so bad about it for the next 10 days, right? Like, dang, I should have did that. But more importantly, I had to get vulnerable with God about those deep-rooted issues. A lot of us stay very surface level with God. We talk about what's comfortable, right? God, give me some gas this week. God, heal my auntie, right? But you have been in 10 relationships and they have not worked, right? So you have to ask God, what's the common denominator? It's you. So you have to ask God, am I pushing people away because of the rejection I have from my mom or my dad or my grandma or whatever? God, is it that I don't even know how to receive love yet because I don't really love myself? Because what I had to realize was all the money I spent didn't make me love myself anymore, or like myself for that matter. Because every time I looked in the mirror, I could find 10 things that I didn't like about myself like this. But one thing that I liked about myself, like this, right? So it's really digging deep and getting vulnerable with God. God, why can't I keep a job? God, why can't I be in a relationship longer than this amount of time? Because what I found was, like I said earlier, when I started putting the mirror on myself, God began to show me these things that were inside of me that were actually stopping me from being what He called me to be. But more importantly, stopping me from loving people the way that He wanted me to love them. Because I did not like forgiving people. My husband knows there was times the Lord told me to say sorry to him and I did not want to say it. Now, most of the time I was right, okay? But what I learned in marriage is there's a time where you have to learn how to humble yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you chose to be with that person for the rest of your life, what does it matter who's right or wrong? Right? So this part took a lot of digging. It took a lot of honesty and a lot of transparency. But this is where I got the most clarity. And then the next one, well, actually, let me ask. Can anyone in here say that they have been vulnerable with God and be honest? I know you guys say. Can anybody say they haven't been vulnerable and honest with God?